What are some good things that are happening in the world that people might not know about? Whales are slowly returning to parts of the ocean they hadn't been seen in for decades. Nature heals when we give it the chance. Ozone layer is actually healing faster than expected. Scientists think it could be fully restored in our lifetime. My Nost upvoted genius annotation is on a lyric about the ozone layer. I updated it a few months ago that it's starting to heal at a good rate. People find it quite uplifting to hear about. Lyme disease vaccine is close to finishing third-stage clinical trials. I've had Lyme disease, luckily I caught it early and got antibiotics. This is great news. I had Lyme's and had it for 5 years due to poor mental health. Needless to say, I'm pretty ducked up mentally and physically as a result. Cancer deaths have dropped by over 25% in the US since 1991, with breast cancer deaths decreasing by 39%. Cervical cancer deaths have markedly dropped as well since the introduction of the HPV vaccine. I'm somewhat newly single after 30 years, and on the advice of my doctor, I just complete the HPV vaccine cycle. Even if it couldn't affect men, which it totally can, why would I want to be a carrier for something so horrible to women? 3 shots over 8 months is nothing big. Costa Rica is running almost entirely on renewable energy most of the year. Yeah, that's dope. Costa Rica really set the bar. Another cool one is how a bunch of countries in Africa just wrapped up massive tree planting projects to fight desertification, like literally turning dead land green again. Burkina Faso saved a huge amount of its country by planting trees in areas where the land was drying out, saving a lot of people from hunger and misery. They still have a bad time, but less so. It is a very interesting country. I had to organize a team between several sister airlines to send equipment for those trees, set up a logistics network that reached Ouagadougou. I feel proud to be the leader of that team. The Great Ocean Cleanup is doing amazing work on researching and removing plastic from our oceans and waterways, including intercepting plastics in rivers before it makes its way to oceans. We might yet see the Great Pacific Garbage Patch cleaned up in our lifetimes, along with other floating islands of plastic. There is another thing happening with plastics that is arguably both good and bad: plastic-eating fungi and bacteria. The good is that all that plastic waste may become decomposable and end up having a minor long-term issue on the environment. The bad is that plastics will become decomposable and lose its key properties for why it is so valuable. I have a nightmare where this bacteria starts eating all the plastic in our world, and our world just falls apart. We have plastic in everything. Child mortality has dropped by more than half worldwide in the last 30 years. Millions more kids are growing up healthy today than ever before. The world is a better place than it once was. Take a walk around any old cemetery in your area and look at the grave sites from the early 20th or the 19th century. An inordinate amount of them are children ranging from young teens to toddlers to babies. The reasons for large families of 5+ offspring are multitude in nature, but mainly because of the fact that families suffered from all kinds of preventable, avoidable disease and sicknesses. It's a favorite pastime of mine and my mom's to visit all kinds of cemetery sites in historical Canadian towns and cities and regions, and it's always heartbreaking. I lost over 50 pounds this year. Woohoo! From a fellow loser, I know how great that feels. I'm down over 200 and it's lovely. I saved 2 people from drowning on a busy beach in the UK whilst walking past working. One child couldn't swim and got swept out. One local man went in to save him and got into difficulty. I took off my work gear and managed to save the both. I was top story on BBC News for a day. That's my claim to fame. How fantastic. Great job. You made a huge difference in their continuing lives. Thank you. Someone on Reddit gave me and my son a free ticket to his first NFL game, and we had a great time. I find people are pretty generous around here. Edit. Oh yeah, it was a pay-it-forward thing, which I fully intend on doing. So good things are happening on a random personal basis. Cheers, that's exciting. What team did y'all go to see? I know nothing about NFL, but I love seeing people have a good time. Houston Texans versus Carolina Panthers. It was a great time, and since the practice field was open and unoccupied, I got some great pics of my son by their field. Random acts of kindness by people you'll never meet. They're happening right now, all around us. There are still good people doing good things in this world. Do one random act of kindness every day, no matter how small. It takes such little effort, but can make a world of difference. I love to give random compliments to people. It's so nice to watch their faces light up. I got it myself today. An elderly woman came up to me at the gym today and said, "It's so nice to see your pink shorts amongst a sea of black clothes, haha." I go to sleep every night in a warm bed and with a full belly. I have people that love me. Can't ask for anything more. I can crank up the AC, and because the way our house is built, it takes like 30 minutes to get that coolness. I have a huge crush on my wife, and she's the greatest companion on this spinning orb. Same. My family is everything. I got picked first in kickball. I'm 50. The other players were 6. It would have been funny if you went last, just from a storytelling standpoint. My grandfather decided to go against the wishes of his wife and not cut me out of his will. She had convinced him somehow to give everything to her son who lives in their basement and has never held a job, and at 30 years old gets a monthly allowance that he spends immediately on anime and video games. He still relies on his mom to do his laundry and make him sandwiches. I see this as a win for humanity. As someone who watched their father lose almost everything in a remarkably similar circumstance, I'm so relieved for you. Please get it in writing, though. Renewable energy has been getting cheaper and cheaper at an insane rate. Politicians bribed by the oil and gas industry will not be able to kneecap renewable energy forever. They are desperately trying to prevent the expansion of green energy infrastructure because once it's expanded and has the capacity to power vast swathes of civilization, oil and gas will be mostly obsolete. In capitalism, the cheapest and most superior technology will always win out, even in crony capitalism where bribery and corruption are commonplace. If the green energy infrastructure will reduce costs, it will get built with or without government subsidies. I'm sober for 3 months today, and I'm 7 days. I'm 4 years sober next weekend. More people than ever are questioning the harmful patterns embedded in them through their past experiences, especially childhood, then trying to and successfully breaking the toxic cycles that they have propagated or endured from their past. This is huge. This is going to have a massive flourishing of love and authenticity on this earth that we have never seen before, especially on the incoming generations. If you have been working on yourself, you are a part of this cascade, and thank you for your contribution to building a loving future. It's affecting workplaces and schools. Yelling is no longer a management tool. mRNA cancer vaccines are showing extremely promising results in mice. We may actually have a cure for cancer within our lifetimes. I wonder when we are going to get immortal, super intelligent mice. I, for one, welcome our mice overlords. Pretty much everyone who's on this thread is likely living better than royalty was 200 years ago. My spice cabinet agrees. I have purple textiles. A significant positive trend is the marked decline in alcohol consumption among younger generations. Gen Z in particular drinks substantially less than millennials and previous generations, largely driven by a greater focus on physical and mental health. The global smoking rate has been cut by more than a third in the last 30 years. Solar and wind are now the cheapest sources of new electricity in history, and their global installation is expanding at a rate that far outpaces all other energy sources combined. I'm pretty happy with my new job. That's it for today. Comment down below on good things that are happening in the world right now.